All right, let's talk about Airbnb investing. There's this huge gap between the dream you see online and what's actually happening on the ground. Today, we're going to dig right into that. You've seen this, right? I mean, scroll through any social media feed and boom, there it is, a headline just like this one. And it's an incredibly tempting promise, isn't it? Just buy a property, list it, and you're on your way to financial freedom. But is it really that simple? Let's pull back the curtain a little bit. So it all starts with what I like to call the Airbnb YouTube dream. It's this really powerful story that's being sold by just countless online influencers and real estate gurus. And the appeal is just so obvious. I mean, who wouldn't want an investment that just kind of prints money while you're sleeping? The whole pitch is designed to sound as easy as possible. A few clicks online, get some nice furniture in there, and bam, you're a real estate mogul in the making. Okay, but that brings us to our first major reality check. Is this income really passive, or is it something else entirely? Well, this slide really lays it out. On the left, you've got the dream they're selling you, that easy, hands-off, passive income. But on the right, that's the reality for most hosts. It's a 24/7, full-on, active management job. I mean, think about it for a second. You're not just an investor here. You are the front desk, you're the concierge, you're the maintenance crew, and you're the marketing department all rolled into one. It's the constant back and forth messaging with guests, the frantic calls to find a cleaner for a last-minute booking, and yep, that 11 p.m. text asking for the Wi-Fi password. It's obsessing over your reviews to protect your ranking and making late-night runs to the store because the last guest used all the coffee. Believe me, this is not passive. It's a hands-on hospitality business. Now, okay, let's say you're willing to do all that work. The financial promises, well, they need a much closer look too. See, the online story is always about revenue, but the real story is about profit. This is the number that gets all the clicks. $50,000 a year in gross revenue from just one property. It looks absolutely incredible on a spreadsheet, and it makes for a fantastic YouTube title. But gross revenue is not the money that ends up in your pocket. And this chart shows you why. That impressive 50 grand gets sliced up really, really fast. A huge chunk of it, gone, right off the top for the mortgage and utilities. Then the booking platforms, they take their cut. You've got constant maintenance, restocking supplies, plus taxes and insurance. And all of a sudden, your actual take-home profit is just this tiny little sliver of that big number you started with. Let's zoom in on a few of these hidden costs, because this is important. People totally forget about the massive upfront expense of furnishing a place from scratch. And we're not just talking about a bed and a sofa. We're talking every single plate, fork, and piece of art for the walls. Then you've got the relentless wear and tear. Towels and sheets, they don't last forever when you have new people every few days. And please, do not forget about the slow season. Those 1 or 2 months where bookings just dry up, but that mortgage bill, oh, it keeps coming. So, beyond the day-to-day work and all those hidden costs, there's a whole other layer of challenges that the online hype almost never prepares you for. And that's the massive external risks that are completely out of your control. Just imagine this scenario for a minute. Your city gets worried about housing costs and suddenly bans Airbnbs. Just like that, your entire business model, poof, it vanishes overnight. Or maybe your neighborhood just gets flooded with new hosts, a price war starts, and your profit margin just evaporates. And honestly, all it takes is one destructive guest or one really bad viral review to absolutely cripple your listings ranking and your future income. These aren't just what ifs. These are very real risks. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? You take on all the financial risk of a property owner, but you also become this small business manager who's totally vulnerable to things you have absolutely zero influence over. So what does this all mean? Is Airbnb investing just a bad idea? Well, not necessarily. But it does mean that we need to completely rethink how we look at this so-called hustle. So before you even think about jumping in, it is absolutely crucial to get your head around these 3 truths. First, this is not passive income. It is a demanding job in the hospitality industry. Second, your net profit is going to be a fraction of that big gross revenue number you see advertised everywhere. And third, your investment is exposed to some very significant market and regulatory risks. In the end, it really all boils down to this one question. The financial investment, that's one thing, and it's a big thing. But the investment of your time, your energy, and your attention, that's just as critical, if not more so. And being honest with yourself about that is the real first step to making a smart decision.